Sitting around the ballroom, they're talking about tomorrow when they're taking Johnny away. Said he wasn't no good, never done the things that he should. That's all the judge had to say. He went in the army when he was 18. Crazy young Irish and mean. Took a kid who was half gone all the way to be wrong with bloodlust and them 16s.
All right, we're back. Let's go. All right, that worked. Little technical difficulties. Happy post-Thanksgiving.
Yep.
You guys just missed 15 minutes of Fitzy just killing it.
Yeah, off
banter.
mic, fucking, hey, crowd work. You know what I mean?
It's all right.
It was great.
Jeff Clough
It's more where
returned.
that came from.
Jeff Clough returned to the mic. How we doing?
Great. Nice to be here. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me back.
Third time. It's a chomp.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
A, huh?
Yeah. All right, quick housekeeping. We got the Ugly Sweater Party on the 21st.
21st, baby.
Yeah. And that will be at the IA.
Yep.
It's just free to attend. We'll figure out some type of donation that you can make
Yep.
to something. Maybe we'll figure it out. But wear an ugly sweater. It's just gonna be drinks at the members bar.
It's gonna be mayhem.
It's gonna be mayhem.
I ate a sweater with Jesus on it. He was given like the touchdown sign, and it said "holla," like holla.
I have to say, like, ugly sweater's not my favorite thing. I hate prop comedy, so like, it's not my favorite brand of humor. You know what I mean? But some people like it. So
I
if
mean-
you're a dummy, you're probably gonna love this party.
So we've been having ours before we took this over. Me and my friends had an ugly sweater party for the last 12 years. And back then it was literally an ugly sweater. Now it's like caught on nationwide, but like you can buy one from Walmart. We had to go to like fucking that place in Cambridge, like it's like the Savers right in Harvard Square. And you buy a sweater for like $10. You know, it was like an ugly sweater. Now it's like they're just funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Fucking lights and all the gimmicks you can think of.
So we're just fresh off of Thanksgiving. We were just discussing it. See, Jeff, would you say it's got a lot of potential that holiday?
It's got a lot of potential that holiday. It really could be great. It depends on who you surround yourself with. Unfortunately, I have the same people every time I.
We had an unbelievable moment. So it was at my sister-in-law's, and they put out a great spread. And my brother-in-law, Maggie's brother, great guy, Rob, he's got 2 kids who are grown in college, and then he's remarried, and he has like a 3.5-year-old because he's a fucking idiot.
What a fucking animal.
I know,
sucker.
I know.
That's wild.
So, anyways, his kid, Rowan, I believe is his name, my nephew.
Was this your nephew?
Yeah, I believe his name's Rowan. He was like throwing a little bit of a fit. So Rob gets down. It's like a big open concept house. So it's like, everybody's kind of in the same sight line. And he's like yelling at him, kind of, like trying to get him in fucking line. And he bends down, his sweater comes up at the back, and I'm like, what I see sends shockwaves through my mind, right? Because what I think I'm seeing is that he's wearing a fucking thong, and it's riding up into the back of his shirt. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
and everybody starts, so the whole room just goes fucking silent.
It's got a
right?
tramp stamp.
And I'm like, my mind's breaking in every way like your mind can break. Like, it was like, I imagine it was like in, it was just, I was having a hard time comprehending what was happening. I was like, maybe he wears his wife's underwear, they get off on that. I'm no king shamer. You do whatever you're going to do. But like, Thanksgiving's a little aggressive to wear it. And so finally, like,
If you start
his
over
wife
after
says, Rob,
15
you wearing a
years-
thong?
Yeah.
And he gets up and he's like, what? He's like, no, he's fucking, this kid is such a Republican that he's bought everything they offer on the fucking Fox News channel. So he's got back pain. So it was a V-shaped copper, like fucking.
It's a thong.
Yeah, snake oil medicine that they patch, right? But it went to the top of his ass crack and then like to the bottom, the small of his back. So it looked exactly like the outline of a thong. And he like took it off. He's like, it's a patch for my back. And I'm like, dude, thank fucking God. Because I was like, Maggie's dad was like, Brendan was leaving. I started moving out of the fucking house. Like I was started walking for the door. Because I'm like,
It's a patch for my asshole.
it gives me the best asshole relief you could ever get. You know, if you have an itchy asshole, this is the patch that you want to get a hold of. You know what I mean?
Then he threatened Rowan.
Then he threatened Rowan.
He's like, dude, We're in Massachusetts. There's still time to abort this pregnancy.
Yeah. But I got another story for the Patreon afterwards, but can't be told here. But you know how it gets with family. It was an immediate, excellent holiday. I had, I think you had it too, Fitzy. I had all the pies from Durham.
I had apple pie and
Stromboli?
I had 2 strombolis, Italian stromboli and spinach and cheese. Dude, those things went so quick. I barely got a slice
unreal.
of each, and it was gone.
Yeah. What was it 327 Eastern Ave, I believe?
472.
472. Whatever. You know what I mean? One of those.
Someone's-
Drive down Eastern
Lynn,
Ave.
Mass.
Just
Triple decker.
There's 3 numbers. I know
Just
3
drive
numbers.
up and down Eastern Ave and Lynn, and you'll find Durham.
4 corkers killed trying to get fucking sandwiches
Hey,
from
is this
Durham.
Durham pasta shop? No,
Shot
my
dead.
name's Maria. This is my daycare.
So I walked in there, by the way, to pick him up. First fucking person I see is Clocky.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's up, kid?"
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take one of those,
Thank
Jeff,
you.
actually. Thank you. He's like, "What's up, kid?" He was in there getting a sub.
Yeah.
And being as loud as, Clocky is no altering, like, his voice, you know?
Point guard.
I'm like, "What are you doing?
starting five of the
What's
Irish
up
Swiss
today?" He's
Ball.
like, "I'm going to eat this Italian sub." And then me and Collie are going to get fucking hammered, kid. It was awesome. Like, 5 people like, "What the fuck is going on?" But pick those up.
So you met a fan.
This is to be fucking determined.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Here's what I think happened. I didn't clarify this with him.
Yeah, we need a.
I think he looked back the timestamp on the tapes in the shop.
correct.
Yeah, so I'm
I
walking
think
out-
it was legit.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a clever ruse to fucking
It
go
would have
through.
been sick,
It would have been an unbelievable prank.
but I don't think he planned that.
Yeah, me and Clocky were walking out. This lady's like, "I just started watching your podcast. I saw you guys on Instagram." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then I said that. And then he was like, "Black jacket, black hair." He's like, I'm like, "You motherfucker." But I think he went back to the tapes
So
to make
the
sure it was
owner,
legit.
Al, was saying that he sent the lady out there to fluff his ego.
Yeah.
No way.
That's what he said. It's to be determined if that was the truth. Or
She
not.
came in through the front door, so that would be an unbelievable magic trick.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Hey, listen, I'm not opposed to it. If it was, I'm always up for
Hey,
getting
Brendan's
fucking
here
pants.
right now.
Yeah, come in.
Hurry up.
Yeah,
Across the street.
yeah, that would have been
My
unbelievable.
cousin Ethan just told me, I just saw him the other day. He was telling me he's got a buddy in Florida who, no connection to pulling the cork, but found this podcast.
Nice,
Yeah.
awesome,
Love it.
yeah.
Love
That's
to
great.
Be in Florida on Friday,
Florida.
baby.
Imagine that.
That's awesome. And then, real quick, I'll finish. But by the next morning, we had plans, me and Al, to go play golf at Sky Golf.
Yeah.
At Flow Golf, sorry. And documented that his cousin is Mark Lewis, whose name has maybe been besmirched on this podcast several times
Oh, yeah.
in the past. So I show up, and I thought it was just me and Al. And he's like, "My uncle's coming." Oh, the kid at the front desk is like, "Oh, I played golf with you." And I was like, yeah, Sagamore. He's like, "Oh, Mark's coming. Mark's on his way, Mark Lewis." And I'm like, he just smiles at me, and I'm like, here we go. I have to say this. Fucking total gentleman of a kid, great guy, character. His uncle is one of the best guys I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, you say that.
Oh, dude, just such an awesome guy. Was the Melrose hockey coach. I didn't know that for years.
No shit.
Lives up the street. Lives right up the fucking street. So, anyways, Mark Lewis has said he will come on the podcast. By the way,
Okay.
I did not tell him that his name has been besmirched on here. I left that detail out. But we had a lot of fun. And, anyways, that was pretty much it. How was your Thanksgiving, Danny?
I was good.
Oh, give the news, by the way.
Oh, about the squad?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to Florida Friday. The boys are going to Nationals. My team is headed to Nationals. We're one of the top 8 teams in America. So we play down at, it used to be at the Worldwide Sports of Disney or whatever. It is now at Universal. I booked my hotel. Flights are paid for, and we are ready to roll.
Nice. Yeah.
If anyone is friends with me on any type of social media, I've asked for donations. There's been an abundance of people I've never even met just from here, to be
Yep.
honest with you.
Yeah.
And I just can't thank you guys enough. Any little bit helps. I just wanted to thank everybody, and hopefully we come back with some hardware.
Yeah. And my buddy Sean Feeney donated. I know I bought a bunch of raffle tickets. A lot of people would text me saying they bought raffle tickets and
Yep.
shit, and Fitzy bought some. And so,
Any small business, I have a write-off letter for
Yeah.
taxes.
My business donated, but that's basically so I can use underprivileged youth to promote my business on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's basically what
But
I do with it.
if if you are interested and you still want to help out, plenty of time.
Win-win.
Yeah, I'm like, despite what I might have said at different times, I do support black people. You know what I mean? Specifically.
So if you still want to donate, if you got a business, you want a tax write-off, I got the letter, I got the tax ID number, hit me up, hit Brendan up, Fritzy up, whatever.
Yeah, awesome.
How old's your son?
13. So it's, I got like 12 and 13-year-old kids. Yeah.
Pessa.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's awesome.
That'll be a good time. You gonna go to the park?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, though. They got you by the balls down there. So you guaranteed 2 games.
Yeah.
We fly in Friday. The team checks in Saturday. You have a practice Saturday. First game Sunday. If you lose that, you get one more game, you're done. So if we lose, knock on wood, we don't. We lose Sunday or Wednesday, your trip's done. You can take a trip home that day. You're still paying for that hotel for 8 days. And that's where they fuck you.
Yeah,
You cannot,
that's
you
tough.
can't, it's not an open-ended. Like, I got a flight down there just in case, because if you get a round trip, which I didn't know this, if you get a round trip, it's way more expensive. So we got, there was like a Spirit airline flight for like $75. I was
Yeah.
like, I value my body way too much for this. So I went with Jeff Clough. Me and my son are going down, not the whole family. He wanted a window seat. I got an aisle seat because I'm an adult. And we're a couple rows away from each other, but he'll live. You know what I mean? It's
He'll be fine.
3-hour flight.
My Addie made a travel volleyball league team like for New England, which basically just means that they're like, oh, we offer 3 different tiers, but all of them we're going to fuck you on. So I just paid for that, which was awesome. And then, but like the weekends are away, right? So like the first one's in like Fitchburg, which is beautiful this time of year, I have to say. And Maggie's like, so she's going. And it's like the 13th and 14th. So Tommy like hears me talking to her and he comes in and he's like, so Mom and Daddy are going to away for the whole weekend? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so it's just me and you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is that
go
going to
to
happen?
Dave's Hot
He goes, is that
Chicken?
going to happen? He goes, is that going to happen like regularly? And I'm like, I think at least like 4 weekends. And he's like, that's awesome. It's like, that's sick, dude. Like the one night they went away, all the girls went to Taylor Swift. He was like, it was like the best day of his life. Like we just watched movies and fucking ate subs. It was great. Went to our respective rooms and jerked off. It was awesome.
So this is what I don't get about this trip, right? So they already kind of gave you the itinerary. Actually, this part is cool. So let me start with this. Tuesday night, they're doing like like you know how ESPN does a selection of the top teams. They're doing it on an app called Flow Sports.
Okay.
Where they tell you who you're playing your first game, and they're doing it on live and whatnot, telling you a little bit about each team. So I thought that was cool. We're gonna end practice a little early. All the teams gonna watch it or whatever, but they have a Pop Warner night in quotations for those that aren't watching on Tuesday. Why the fuck would you have it? Because Monday everyone's free. There's no games. There's no practice. Why wouldn't you do it on Sunday night or Monday? Is beyond me. Because Tuesday, everyone still has a game the next day.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have all these kids in the fucking roller coasters, puking, going to the water parks, whatever the case may be, and you have a game at 8:00 in the morning on Wednesday. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
So we're there again. We're there regardless. I think what our plan is as a team is go Monday. Like, fuck, we have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then fuck that Pop Warner night. It means nothing. Like the general admission's still there. You can still go there with your family. I have no idea what Pop Warner night means because it's basically just says have all you guys go one day, get this over with. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if
So if
know
you
what I mean?
lose the games, you're still there through what, Saturday? The next.
You can. So that's why I got one-way tickets. So like they already got you for the hotel, but if we lose Sunday or Wednesday, you're done with games.
So you can just go home on Thursday.
If you win both, if you win both, the Super Bowl where it used to be at Disney, now it's at the Camping World Arena where Florida International plays. Pretty sick stadium, and
That's what,
on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All right. So we got next weekend. You're not here. We got Al filling in for
Correct.
you. He's 4th auxiliary member of the podcast now.
Yep.
And then we'll see if you're back whenever or whatever. We'll figure it out. Hopefully you'll be back by then, bringing home a fucking trophy.
Yep.
Fitzy, how's your Thanksgiving?
It was good. We went to my brother's house, ate, brought all the shit from Durham. That went fast. And then
You've just been on a bender.
I've been on a bender ever since. Wednesday night, drank. Thanksgiving, drank all day. Smoked a stick. Smoked maybe 2 sticks on Thursday. I don't fucking remember. Then Friday morning, Connor's hockey tournament starts up in Andover, right? And it's so obviously it's a local tournament, so we're just there when we have games. But we had 3 games the first day, so we're there for like fucking 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
They went 3-0 the first day. Then Evan had us over his house that night, hammered. Kids were up way too late to be playing hockey the next morning. but
That's their problem.
such is life, you know. So then Saturday morning we show up. We have 4 games. We lose 1 game to a team that gets disqualified from the tournament because they're a AAA team and they entered a AA tournament. So they beat us 2-1.
Scumbags.
2-1. And you know what I said? I said, call the fucking board and get them back because I want to beat them in the championship.
Fucking A.
And they're like,
While Fitzy's holding the beer and like a grape McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
Talking with a stick in his mouth.
They're like, sir, you can't smoke in here.
He was still,
Sir,
he
you
still
drunk?
only made that request.
Sir, you drunk? So that was Saturday, right? And then we had a team dinner at Bertucci's Saturday night, and then Evan had another party at his house after Bertucci's.
What a fucking animal.
He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was
Did
like,
you get a sporky?
no, it was whatever they ordered.
Missed it.
It was the cheapest. I was like, give me the cheapest shit that you have.
And a
Like,
stick.
here's a cheese, sir.
You're like, I'm just gonna eat this cigar.
Tobacco's fine for me. And then we go. So today is the finals. We were the 2 seed, so we got a bye. We won our first 2 games. Went to the finals, crushing Bears all the way through the day, and then we lost fucking 5-2 heartbreaker.
That
in
sucks.
the finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
To Rusty.
To Rusty. Rusty from Melrose. Yeah, you got recognized by a few people, right?
Yeah,
You know
so
me?
I had, well, no one recognized me. They read my shirt. They said, hey, pulling the cork. And I was like, yeah, you know Brendan? I'm like, buddy, I'm on the show.
Yeah. Everybody knows I'm the fucking star.
Hey, you
Come
know
on.
Fitzy?
Incredible. I grew up with Fitzy, dude.
You're like, I'm Fitzy. Jeff, how was your Thanksgiving? Good?
Yeah, it was terrific. Yeah, like I said, it's it's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of potential. I think one day when you know my family is out of the picture, it'll be awesome.
It'll be a great holiday.
No, it was good. It was good. But just like Fitzy, I'm a little bit of a twist of myself.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way it goes, right? Wednesday night,
Yep.
we have like a big flag football thing in Dorchester with the younger kids, and the fathers play against the younger kids and kick the shit out of them.
Life lessons.
Yeah, exactly. And then you know, Thursday you get up. My son plays in a different flag thing against like these Irish guys, so you get on there, and then you start. So you start early.
Yeah.
And it just, even like last night, like we went out. A friend of mine had a party, and my wife's like, let's fucking make it an early night, like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock we're walking out of there. Then you go home, smoke a couple sticks. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning with my son. The way just drove up to UMass Lowell. I don't know what we talked about, but I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning, bending his ear about God knows what. So yeah, no, it was good. It's my favorite time of year.
Oh, by the way, speaking of kids, my daughter, who's just home from South Carolina, is a straight A student, by the way.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, fact. She's like, I don't want to lose my fucking scholarship. I'm like, you better not. You'll be going to fucking, you'll be going to
UMass.
Salem State, commute from the house. She's like, she's looking for a job. So if anybody out there has a seasonal job, not snow plowing, but preferably one that she probably wouldn't be any good for. You get a restaurant or shop or whatever. She's a very responsible person. She's a good kid.
She
She was looking for him. Yeah, she's a freshman. Yeah,
Awesome.
Your buddy Anta goes to.
Yeah, his daughter's a freshman
Yeah,
too.
I saw her when I was down there.
And I have my cousins, both of his kids. One's a junior, one's a freshman.
It's awesome. Place is great.
Oh, people
Yeah.
fucking love that.
Yeah,
place.
it's fucking awesome, dude. It's great, and they had a big win yesterday.
Huge. Great day for college football.
Great day for
yesterday.
college. It's ruined my fucking NFL.
Hey, I'm so
it's
glad
just
you're
ruined it,
on my train, dude.
It's ruined it. Also, by the way, Maggie's best friend, I've talked about this thing. They own a restaurant down in Hilton Head, and she went to Needham. She's from Needham, but anyways, he runs a bar down there. He's an awesome dude. First time I ever met this guy. With me and my buddy Kevin Cedarchuk, who's from Tewksbury. His father was a Charlestown firefighter with Billy O'Leary's dad.
Mm-hmm.
We were living in Southie. She's like, we're gonna meet my friend Michelle for drinks, and her boyfriend is from South Africa. I'm like, I'd if you got a fucking cheese grater to rub over my nuts, I'd love to do that more than meet this guy from South Africa. By the way, I'm picturing like a guy in Blood Diamond. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, but
Not Steve
not
Nash.
a white guy. Anyways, thank God he was white. He's this white dude. He's this white dude from South Africa. He's a fucking riot. So he texted me yesterday. He's like, dude, because his son just got in, and he's like, I already bought tailgate for the entire home games, every home game. So he's like, so whenever you want to go to any of the games, he's like, if you want to fly into Hilton and hang out, play golf for a couple days, come there. I'm like, I told Fitzy, I'm like, this podcast is gonna have to really take off because I fucking got to get some fucking serious cash going. Oh, this is another quick story before we launch into other shit. So I'm having drinks with you on. You already know the story. So I'm having drinks with
incredible.
Danny and Bobby Froyo, and my buddy Higgy comes. Chad Higgins. I played hockey at Babson. Awesome dude. Like has a full Vermont hick accent.
It's hilarious.
He's one of the best.
I still can't get Wisconsin waterfall out of my head.
Yeah. He goes, oh,
Talking
what a
about a mullet?
fucking. Yeah, he's like, what a Wisconsin waterfall.
What a Wisconsin waterfall that boy's got, huh?
So, anyways, Higgy's telling me about this girl he went to college with who grew up with my wife. And she's like, yeah, he got divorced. That guy's an asshole. Now, I haven't heard about this kid in years. But the times I met him was when we were first going out, and, you know, nobody's got kids yet. So you're doing, like, we would go to these holiday parties and shit. What does this holiday party need him? She's there, and her new boyfriend at the time, or I think they might have been engaged. That was the first time I met him. And she has, like, he just made fun of her, like, in front of everybody about, like, a physical way she does something. And it was, like, the meanest thing I ever saw in my life. Like, I was like, that's the fuck... And this is, like, one of the nicest people you could ever meet. So I'm like, this kid is a fucking piece of shit. So the next year, I decided to, like, chat him up. I wanted to fucking really know what this fucking piece of shit's all about. So he's like, oh, he's one of these guys, like, I'm from Southie. And I'm like, oh, you grew up in Southie? I'm like, nice, where'd you grow up? He's like, well, he's like, I grew up there till I was, till he was fucking 4. And then he moved to fucking, like, Weymouth or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, he's like, I was a semi-pro golfer. And I'm like, he's like, and I'm like,
This is
I'm
amazing.
like, really? I'm like, so where did you play? And he's like, oh, this mini tour down in, you know, whatever, Florida. Very vague answer, kind of. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, you know James Driscoll? James Driscoll's roommates or friend, grew up with all these guys I know, and James Driscoll was on the PGA Tour. So he's like, oh, I know Jimmy Driscoll. And I'm like, first of all, like, oh, I know all his closest friends. They don't call him Jimmy. So how, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, so where'd you play college golf? And he's like, oh, I played at Salem, but it was like, you know, I would Salem State, but I like crushed it there. And I'm like, so I get on the fucking horn the next day at work, and I'm like, on
Jimmy.
Monday. And I call up Salem State, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing an article about, I don't remember the kid's last name. His name actually was Jimmy.
I work for golf.
Yeah. I was like, I'm doing an article, and I'm looking for this kid's golf records. And they're like, what paper are you from? And I was just like, I just hung up, you know?
You know.
So then I ended up doing like a deep fucking internet dive. I used my morning to the fullest capacity for my employer at the time by doing a deep internet dive on this kid's career. The only thing I could find was that he played in the like the Open for whatever that league is that Salem State's in. I don't know if it's whatever the fuck the name of it is, but there were 143 golfers, and he came in 143rd. And he shot an 88, right? And I get on the
I've tried an 88 before.
so I get on the phone to call Maggie's other friend's now husband, who's a good guy, but you know, he's not like I like want to fucking dig up some dirt on this kid. And I'm like, now I'm fucking pumped, right? I'm like, I've exposed this kid's fucking as a fraud, right? And I fucking call up this kid. He's at his like investment bank he works at. I'm like, yo, Brian, I'm like, hey, I just found this fucking document. This kid shot. And he was like, why are you basically like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, fuck this kid. He's a fucking liar. And he's like,
Everyone
dude,
should know this.
like he's like, so then I found out that like, yeah, his whole life is falling apart since, and I'm like fucking pumped. I'm like, I was fucking. Maggie's like, I came right home from Hooters. I go, listen to this fucking story. I told her. She goes, you called the minute you fucking saw him. You say he's a fucking piece of shit. I'm like, he is. Now it's proven.
You're like an investigative
I
reporter.
was doing fucking. By the way, if I was putting that work into like real work, like I'd be rich. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to expose zeros like throughout New England.
Just hurt losers.
Yeah, just fucking. I'm like the Batman of fucking the biggest loser Batman there ever has been. You know what I mean? Just fucking exposing the world. So we're gonna talk about benders a little bit, right? That's what we're getting into.
This will ease right into that. So yesterday, I told you I was going to tell you this on the story. I mean, on the pod. Yesterday we had a little fundraising to donate some, raise some money for the funds to the trip or whatever. Malden had a street hockey tournament, which they've had for years, but after COVID it kind of dwindled down. They brought it back last year. It's a great fucking time. I'm not a hockey guy in the least, but it's just a great turnout. Grown adults there was many times fisticuffs were about to happen. And I'm like, buddy, you got to work Monday. You know? That's why I like gave up. I played 1 year of semi-pro and I go, this isn't worth it. It's fucking terrible, you know? So
did that kid. So did that Jimmy kid.
Semi-pro golf.
No, semi-pro football. Boston Bandits, shout out. But they had, so we're selling. Two of my coaches, they have a cannoli stand in the North End. They were making cannolis. We had homemade goods, made a ton of money at fucking. I was there from 7 in the morning till 2. And then we made a ton of money. And then from 4 to 7, we were in Malden Square at All Seasons in front. Had a table, bunch of foot traffic.
Which, for those who don't know, is a great Asian restaurant.
Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know how great they are anymore. But it is. It really, really is. Good food, good drinks, it's a great restaurant.
Yeah.
They were hospitable enough to let us sit up a table. They donated some money to the cause. And I said, you know what? I fucking was outside all day. I'm cold. Notre Dame's on at 3:30. And I'm going to stay inside. The kids can fend for themselves. We gave them buckets. They went to all the stores around there. They raised, honestly, like a lot of money for kids. We didn't even have our jerseys on. I'm like, if this was my store, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. These are just fucking, scumbag kids. They raised a ton of money. And then we sold off what we could. Now, here's where we get to the meat and potatoes. I like to have a good time, especially during college football. I didn't have 1 ounce of food at this place. The moms came in afterwards. I want to say there was about 8 adults sitting at the bar. And we had like the little corner. The minute you walk in, the bar's right there. And I'm already 3 mango Mai Tais in. And I go, let me get around for the ladies, big guy, big fucking swinging dick here, right? Let me get around for the ladies. And my girl got a plate of food. One food, right? Yeah. One food item. I bought 1 round, and then the rest was all me for my tab. I was there from 4 till they closed around 11. Let's take guesses how much my tab was.
$90.
Oh, no.
4 to 11?
4 to 11.
670.
$192.37.
$577.
Yeah. You're like, we can't go to this. I guess we can't go to this fucking Pop Warner event anymore.
I literally.
So that was all drinks?
Yeah, she got 1 plate of food that was probably like $30.
Oh, okay.
I got 1 round for everybody, and everyone got a Mai Tai. Mai Tais there are $18. So I got 8 of those for that round, or 9, including me. And then I mean, from 3:30 till 11, I went to Pound Town, and it was just not a good day for Danny Gillis's debit card.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
$577.
Dude, you know what's crazy is that I spent the exact same amount of money, a little bit more than that, but I went to Grill 23 with my family on Friday night.
And you said it was dynamite.
It was unbelievable. The best part was Tommy was like, "Can I get this 100-day aged ribeye?" Which everything is $90 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I've done such a good job convincing these kids that we're poor that like he was like, "How are we gonna pay for this?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "You're gonna wash dishes in the back."
Recover from this day.
Yeah.
Well, I
It
was
was
listening to you
unbelievable.
guys, I don't know if it was last week or whenever it was, but you guys talking about, the best steaks in town.
Grill 23 is still my favorite.
Grill 23,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dynamite.
you're paying for it,
Yeah,
obviously. It's
yeah.
expensive. But in terms of like Morton's, Cap Grill, all those places, they're all good.
They're all good. Yeah.
That Grill 23 though is like next level.
Superior.
Yeah.
It's worth what you
Yep.
pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's still not even like the most expensive steak. Like I've been to them all. I've been to Moo. I've been to every one of them. But Grill 23 just has that steak figured
I
out.
agree with you. I think
Yeah.
that's the best one.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It was, dude, I got home and I was just like, I think I had 2 beers at dinner. I'm like, I'm just going to bed. Like, I'm going to fucking throw the TV on and fucking that's it. You know what I mean? Great, though. Awesome service. Place was fucking awesome. It's funny. You do, like, obviously, we're kind of the outliers in those places where, like, we all make enough money to go there, but, like, it's because it's a special occasion. You know what I mean? Then you got people that just fucking eat there. Like, that's where they eat. You know what I
that's
mean?
where they go.
Like, they're just, like, they are there all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, fascinating. Imagine being like, no, I don't feel like going to Hooters. We should go over to Grill 23 and grab steaks. You know what I mean? It's worth it, though, dude. Doing that once in a while, it's unbelievable. Now, had I known the next part of this story, I never would have gone because I was like, that'll be whatever. That's a nice thing. We'll do it with the whole family. They've never been to a restaurant like that. Awesome, right? So the next day, Maggie had made an appointment Saturday to go get. We're going to Aruba in March. My passport's expired. Hers expired. Kids never had one, right? So we go to the Malden Post Office. By the way, I feel like this is just slowly exposing me as a racist. But like everybody's mailing something to Guam in there. You know what I mean? Like nobody's mailing something to fucking Dedham. You know?
Everyone's mailing it in there.
yeah, and that too. Yeah. So we had the appointment though. It didn't take as long as I thought, but 5 passports. Here you go. This is the same question. You already know the answer. 5 passports. I'll tell you what it costs. 5 passports, and then I take the pictures for you. $881.75.
Ouch.
I was like, dude, we haven't even gone on a fucking plane yet. Like, what the fuck?
I just did the same thing for Aruba.
Yeah.
And it was it's the
You
same
need,
thing.
you need a passport for Aruba?
Yeah, Aruba's not.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Change the fucking game.
And the kids, so my kids, obviously have. I've never had a passport. I've been to Puerto Rico, but Puerto Rico is part of U.S. So I specifically
It's
went there.
territory.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
specifically.
the United States territory.
Yeah, I went there just to save money on passports. That's how cheap I am.
Unbelievable.
And then, so then we went to Aruba and fucking we had to go get passports. We went to the Reading
Post office.
post office.
Yeah.
What a fucking
And,
pain in
yeah,
the ass.
fucking
Total pain in the ass.
brutal.
Yeah.
And what?
And you don't get them
get
for
you
what,
in-
a month, right?
They got us in and out.
No,
I don't know how
it wasn't
was-
bad.
I don't know how it
they
was
tell
for
you an hour and a half, but if you're like Maggie had this shit prepped, so it was like we
Yeah,
were
Melissa
done.
too.
Melissa's
So
the same way, yeah.
everything was all ready. They got us in. It was like, bang, pictures. Here you go, and we were done in I'd say 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was expecting to be.
I
there
will
for like
give
an hour and
Maggie
a half.
credit. Like on the way there, she's like, "You guys, you have to take a citizenship type test, like in order to get the passport." The kids are like,
That's
"What?"
awesome.
She's like, "You take history class, you know the basics, you know." And they're all like, "What the fuck?" Like, is going on?
What year did we start, kid?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well,
How
you're
long
the
have we been
station,
doing this
Yeah.
Thanksgiving
Tommy's in the
bullshit?
back just going, hey, Siri. What are the citizens' questions?
Yeah. So, anyways, hey, you good Thanksgiving though? It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Bendis. Sorry, I was getting off track.
Yeah, Bendis.
I feel like Thanksgiving sets off
The holidays.
the holidays and puts me into like the Bender mentality.
Yeah.
Because I've been drinking since Wednesday.
Yeah.
And,
Congratulations.
you know,
We all have.
so we can talk about like side effects of benders, right? So I've ran into 2 awful side effects, right? This morning, my hands are very shaky, right? Until I get a beer in me
Yeah, you're twitching.
at the rink. Yeah, I'm a little shaky, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm at the rink all day. I have a hot dog at a fucking food truck, like an idiot. I'm like, yeah, let me try that Chicago dog, right? Like it's gonna be any good from this fucking food truck. Obviously, it was terrible, and I ate the whole thing. And then so then I'm leaving. We end up watching extra hockey. Like I can't get enough light hockey in my life. Right? We end up watching an
Give me
extra
more.
game after Connor loses. Right? I'm like, you want to stick around and watch the ones? And he's like, not really, Dad. And I'm like, well, we are. So then we stick around, right? And I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta leave. I gotta go record the show. I'm like, I gotta stop at the liquor store. I go to the liquor store. I'm walking out, right? I rip a fart as I'm walking across the street, right? So I'm like, it's gonna air out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drag it in with the kids and my wife, right?
Right. A fart's supposed to be lumpy.
Dude, I catch a whiff of it in open air. It's cold. What's it? 31 degrees out.
Yeah.
It's cold.
And it's fairly windy.
Yeah.
And I still got a whiff of it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's bad. That's another side effect of this bender that I've been on." Right? And then I get in the car. I throw the 12-pack in there, and I'm like, "I'm sorry if this follows me in to everyone." And I get in, dude. My wife almost puked. She gagged.
Congrats.
She was like, she opened the window like she was gonna puke. And my daughter was like, it smells like cigars and diarrhea. I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
You're doing it right. You're doing it right.
Cigars and diarrhea.
You know what's funny? It's the first
holidays.
time.
It's been
well,
the
the first
season.
time
It's been the
the first time Jeff was on the show was exactly this time because
was,
we were
yeah.
like, you were like, it's the holidays. You know what I mean?
That's when
I told
coined
this,
that
I
term,
told this
yeah.
joke back then too, but you know how you can tell you're at a gay cookout? The hot dogs taste like shit.
I think.
I'll tell you a quick one. Talking about, you didn't shit your pants, but you might as well have.
Close.
Yeah. I was down in, where the fuck was I? I was with some client in like Texas or something. We were going into it was Portland. That's exactly what it was. It was Portland, Oregon. And I was going into this hoop game. We're going to see the Trailblazers. I'm with a guy I work with and this client who's like, does like fucking private equity or something. I don't even know what that is. But I have to pretend like I do, you know. So, but we're going in, and there's a huge crowd, like line going into the stadium.
Yeah.
And we just had sushi, and I don't know if that's a thing or not, but like I'm like I have to fire. Like I really need to like let this go. We're standing in this crowd, and I thought I was gonna get away with it, and I didn't get away, and I was like, I know that's not good.
It's not dry.
It's not good. It's not good. So now, but we're just kind of creeping into the stadium, and I was like, guys, I just have to go to the back. I pretended like I had to piss real bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta go to the back, and I did. My pants, my underwear was still okay. I was still okay. So it was all contained in my butt cheeks, but I did shit my cheeks. And this is I've never told anybody this before. I never told anybody this before. This is
Shit my cheeks.
I shit my cheeks, and I was so I went to the stall. I went in the stall, and I fucking wiped my ass, and it was disgusting, but it was like really bad. So I literally pissed I pissed on the toilet paper
To make a wet wipe?
yeah, and then
fuck
wiped
yeah.
my ass.
That's some Boy Scout shit.
yeah, with like I thought I was a genius.
That's some Bender MacGyver shit right there. Dude, that is unbelievable.
I mean, that's fucking disgusting, but I'm all in on it.
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
What can I do right now?
Because literally, I'd be like, Jeff, there's a sink right there. You don't need piss to do that. You could make a wet wipe out of that water.
I'm not gonna dip my bum in the sink though. You know what I mean? In front of everybody.
Yeah.
I just picture Jeff walking out fucking with his pants around his ankles, just fucking shuffling over the sink. Give me 1 second, boys.
I'm right there, client.
All bets are off when you shit your cheeks.
Oh my God, dude.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
They
you know what I
do.
mean?
They do.
By the way, you know what? You know what you can call two Haitians walking down the street? I only say this because I heard you guys talking about Haitians
It's like a fit.
on one of these podcasts recently.
Yeah.
You know what you call two Haitians walking down the street?
Talk to me.
Pair of jeans.
I didn't know where that was going. I'm so glad it went that way.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
That was great.
They're jeans.
Oh my God. Dude, we went on a golf trip one time to South Carolina. It was me and all probably like 3 Melrose guys, and then like my buddies from college. So that was the one where we got on, and you take a puddle jumper from wherever we stopped to get to Myrtle Beach, and the guy it was just a black guy in like regular shirt and jeans, and he was smoking a cigarette and loading the luggage on. And I'm like, we got in the plane, little tin can, and I'm like, when's the pilot getting here? And the guy puts his cigarette out and he just jumps in the fucking to the front seat. And I'm like, oh, he is the pilot. So
Surprise,
anyways,
motherfucker.
yeah. So we get down there and whatever. Like, you know when you get to like I think we were down there for 4 days, and you know like by the time you get to like that third day, like especially back then, I don't think anybody told us yet to drink water or hydrate. You know what I mean? So you just only thing you put in your body is alcohol, right? So it's like the third day, and like every night, basically, we did the same thing the first 2 nights. We played golf, we got cocked, and then we went to a strip club, right? That was what we did every single night, right? And then we came home, we woke up, we got in the fucking minivan we rented, we drove to a new course, shot 106, and then we fucking saw strippers. Same thing, right? So the third night, we're like, let's go out to a good dinner, and like that's it. So we go out to dinner. And then some of the guys were like, we want to go back to the strip club. And I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm like, we got a flight at fucking.
My first name
we
basis
we had to be at the airport at 5. So I'm like, I'm not going to be, I know it's going to be horrible anyways, but like, I just want to go back to the fucking place, fucking jerk off and go to bed, right? And you have you guys watch while I do it. So we get back there and like, I just pass out. On the fucking we had like a big suite. So it was like a hotel room, but it was like 4 guys could stay in there. So I'm like, I go to the door. The fucking somebody's rapping on the door, right? And there's this fucking hotel manager, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, is there a woman in there? And I'm like, fucking no women. Like, none of these guys get laid.
No
you know?
chance.
No chance. Zero. You got the wrong room, pal.
We're all jerking off together.
He's like, is there a Tina Mangro in there? And I'm like, dude, I just said there's no girls in here. Like, I got no idea. And then all of a sudden I hear my buddy go, she's in here. And I'm like, and he's like, her husband and her kids are waiting down in the parking lot for her.
Oh God.
And I'm like, So my buddy Sam, who Josh had talked about is our only Jewish friend who was yelling at him to get off the roof at UMass.
Yeah.
He apparently met her out at like a bar and with her like fat friend, and like nobody wanted to go home with her fat friend, so her fat friend dimed her out. She found out what hotel we were staying at.
No.
And so the guy came, so he like banged her. She didn't tell him she was married, nothing like that. And not that probably would change his decision making, but
No, the fat friend's the villain.
the huge villain. But that's why fat people are horrible, by the way. It's part of
Fuck fat people.
Yeah.
Fatty.
I gotta get off this bender. Yeah. I'm gonna be fat again.
Yeah. So she's like, so she goes out, gets her clothes, and fucking takes off. And he's like freaking out. He's like, is these fucking guys gonna come up to the hotel room? And he's like, fucking, it's like open carry down here and shit. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm going back to bed. So I went back to bed, and like we got on the plane in the morning. He was sitting next to me, and I'm like, he was like just sitting there, and I'm like, I go, hey, wheels up in a minute. And he goes, can't get out of South Carolina fast enough, buddy. Yeah. He's like, Jesus Christ. Thought he was going to get fucking killed. Tina Mangro, though. Hope she's doing well. Hope her and her family doing well at Thanksgiving this year.
I'm immediately going on Facebook to see what this girl looks like.
We went to Myrtle. This is years ago. And we're on that puddle jump that you're talking about, right? And my buddy, Wally Ryan, he's in front of me as we're getting on. And he's like... he goes, check out Little Richard. So I'm thinking, there's going to be somebody who looks like Little Richard.
Yeah.
No, it was Little Richard.
No.
He was he was on the plane, dude, and he was all fucking, he had the makeup and everything. And we were laughing so hard that he had a bodyguard, this big, huge black guy. He was like looking at us. He's like, guys, come on. Can you fucking not? Can you stop? We were hysterical.
No, it really is Little Richard.
Yeah, it was him. He was really there.
Dude, with those, like, last time I went on a guy's trip, like a real guy's trip. Well, I went on one this summer with my buddy, and I was like, my buddy Panuzzo was with us, and I was the only one having a bender, but the rest of them were like being normal. I remember that was the time he texted me, and he goes, he texted all the guys, he's like, hey, there's a good gym in my, there's a really good gym in my hotel if any of you guys want to get a workout in. And I wrote back, I'm all good. I already beat off today. But I went on one, so I made friends. When I worked at the Home Depot, I made friends with my buddy Levy. He was like one of my close friends. And he invited me. It was me, Clocky, and a bunch of these guys from Winthrop. But they're all like a lot younger than me. Clocky, I think, is the closest one in age to me. And I think Clocky's still like a good bit younger than me. But anyways, so part of the story will have to be saved for the Patreon. But in essence, one of my buddies who's at one point he mowed it through the entire Hooters waitress lineup. Like, he's a coxman. He's a great guy. His life goals and mine are different at this point, especially at this time. So he's like, let's split a room. I'm like, I'm good. So whatever. We don't split a room. We do split a room. And by the first night, like, he's trying to drag a girl in there. And he's like, can you get another room? Or I'm like, can you get the fuck out of here? I'm like, Chris, get the fuck out of here. I just doxed him right there. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So anyways, by like the third day, like, we were supposed to be there for 5 days, I think. By day 3, I just got on my phone. And I just got a flight. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just ordered a flight for this afternoon. I'm fucking out of here. I'm like, I'm good, dude. I had enough fun. Yeah, I'm fucking out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. That was when Clocky was like, you can stay in my room, son. He's like, you can fucking curl right up with me, son. He is the best.
That's a guy to curl up with.
I love how you said you were the only one on a bender, and like Panuzzo's still going to the gym and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, even this weekend, I'm like, to the guys that I was drinking in the parking lot with, I was like, you guys ready? And they're like, oh, not this time. And I was like, all right, see you later.
Fucking losers.
Just in the parking lot by myself, crushing beers.
Dude, I will say this. I don't know if I should really say this on this part of the podcast.
It's the holidays.
It's the holidays. I can say anything I want. If I decide to take it out, I can take it out. So we're at... you know what? I have to save that. I have to save it with the Patreon. If I got to think about it, I got to save it. It involves me telling a story about somebody who lives in my house.
Put it in your butt cheeks for later.
Yeah,
like
his friend
did with that shit.
Yeah. Stuff it back in your butt cheeks, would you? Right, save that shit.
My cheeks, dude.
I got a quick... let's do a couple quick ads. Oh, by the way, so this is the lineup we got coming up. So we got Jeff today. We got me, Danny, and Al, and maybe a guest from... Maybe we could try to get his cousin Justin to come on. Maybe Mark Lewis while Danny's gone. Hand over his heart.
Where can I pee?
There's a urinal out back.
Well, me, fella.
Yeah. 50's gonna hold it for you.
Swords.
And then we got so at the party,
Yep.
Big Bad James is coming.
Fuck yeah.
James from Misguided Spirits is coming up for the party. They're doing a fundraising thing. They're raising, not fundraising, like fucking charity. Basically, like buy shares in the company. They're trying to blow this thing up nationwide. They're doing great with it already, but like you need more firepower. So he's coming up for the party, and then he's staying the weekend, and then he's doing the show with us on Sunday.
Fuck yeah.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. And even we could even think about maybe doing the show before we could record at the IA before people get there.
Do that too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. But misguidedspirits.com, they're employee owned. They're fucking awesome. They have the best whiskeys. They have the best vodkas. They have rum. They have it all. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If we'll figure it out, but we'll talk to James. Maybe we'll get some merch from him because he owes us some merch, and we'll run a little contest for some merch. One thing I have to say too, like Al from Bad Brain was asking me like, how do you get sponsors? I'm like, dude, our people like support the shit out of the people that fucking
sure.
we do it with. Like,
For sure. And like we've introduced our sponsors to one another as well.
Yeah, like
People
American
helping
Benchcraft.
people.
AmericanBenchcraft.com. Benchcraft, I think on Instagram. They just ran a big sale, which we talked about. I think I promoted it on the page. Leather goods, belts. We got their belts. The fucking belts are legit. I got a ledger to write all my enemies' names down in.
Yep.
They got dip holsters. So if you're a Zen guy, it fits right in there. They got it all. So go to AmericanBenchcraft.com. See them. We'll see if he's around too. Maybe Chris can come too.
Sweet.
I'll send him a message today.
I'm probably going to see Chris this week before I leave because I got to grab my stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's what. Yeah, it's where you're getting them done, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Speaking of stickers and everything else, they can make Ben Franklin Print Company. BenFranklinPrintCo.com. Joe's the best. Just made me a bunch of great hoodies that you have one of, the Longhorn Lounge
Sure
ones.
do.
Awesome. He does everything for you. Tell me your cork, you get 10% off. By the way, American Benchcraft, you get 10 or 20% off if you use the Corker code. I think it might be 20.
It's a discount regardless.
It's a discount regardless. You get a little bit of fucking money off. It's American made. It's union and fucking owned. All right,
Veteran owned.
veteran owned. Get on that fucking shit. So we got that. So we got an open show in between that. When you're coming back, we'll figure that out. But then we got James for before Christmas.
Sweet.
And then we got a New Year's show we always do with Bobby Froyo.
Yep.
And then next year we got a bunch of people that are gonna come on. I've been talking to a ton of people.
Yeah, we got
This
some good
guy
ones.
who's like a big comedian reached out and was like, I want to be on your podcast when I come to Boston. I didn't know who the guy is. He's a big Instagram presence. And I'm told he's a big...
Do you know his name?
Yeah, it's like Che something. Che Durham or something?
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Shane Gillis.
Shane
Yeah.
Gillis, yeah.
But I'm like, I'm kind of like... Because then I saw I put up a post the other day. He's like, I want to be on everybody's podcast. I'm like, you know what, dude? Go suck a dick. Go on somebody else's fucking podcast. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
I'm still in if you want to do
Well,
it.
he's probably out after he hears this. I'm just kidding.
He's not going to listen.
Yeah, he's not going to listen, so it ain't going to matter. No, we'll see. We'll figure that out. We'll get him on. But by the way, if you have somebody that you know that you want to have on that you think is good, have him come on. You know what I mean? And then we got to get Jake Wilcox on.
He is. Yeah, I told him. So we had a few weeks. He was home. He's home this week. Obviously, Thanksgiving break. But I said, wait till you get out of school, and we'll figure it out because you'll be back home, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I think I feel like most of the benders I've been on the last 10 years have been with Josh. By the way, Joe's cousin, Josh, the iron worker.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy to be on a bender with because Josh has Joe and I have discussed this before. He has an unbelievable ability to wake up in the morning and not feel bad about anything he's done the night before. He's just like, hey, let's go do something fun now, guys. Let's not get fucking down in the dumps, all right? We gotta pull it together, you know? He's great at that, you know? You gotta kind of do that if you're gonna be doing a bender, because...
Yeah,
Well, that's the only way out. The only way out of it, right?
Power
Because
through.
otherwise, you just feel horrible.
Yeah, my motto is there's no crying in benders. You can't cry the next morning over shit you did the night before.
It's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
You just gotta man up and
you're
just
in
go.
prison.
Yeah, it sucks. It's
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily a bender story, but you're talking with Josh and his cousin Joe sitting over there. So when we were in college, I drove a bus at UMass. I went to UMass Amherst, and I drove a bus, and they were like MBTA buses, like the legit buses, you know. And you had to get drug tested. They had random drug tests. And I drove this thing for like a year and never heard about anybody getting drug tested. And I was like, whatever. And just so happened, Thanksgiving weekends, I went home.
Holidays.
I fucking smoked a ton of weed. And then I was like, what are the chances? First shift back, they had like CB radio back in the day. Like they call and they're like, can you meet us at such and such a spot? Guy's out there with a clipboard. And he's like, yeah, you got randomly selected for this drug test. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? So he's like, you can do it now or you have 24 hours to make it, to get it done. Anyway, make a long story short. Joe Malcolm was the only one of our crew who didn't smoke weed. So we're going to he had the clean piss. But we're worried that, it's going to be in this cup with a thermometer, or whatever, right? So they're gonna know like
the right
temperature and stuff. So we did all these studies like at home, like back in the apartment. All my roommates and everything. We're trying to figure out how do we keep this piss warm, warm enough that it'll pass the thing. And so I go to the health services place where you had to take the test, and I meet Joe up there, and I had like 3 pairs of long johns, and I'm like, because I'm planning on taking this piss and putting it in my undercarriage and
right next to the shit.
keeping it.
Put it where the shit was.
So I meet him up there. He gives me this giant baggie full of piss. He's like, I don't know what you needed. It was a huge bag of piss. So now I could barely fit this thing into my undercarriage, but I'm sticking it on there. And I go, I'm waiting, and it's like, it's getting like cooler.
Yeah.
This piss is getting cooler by the second, right? So finally, I get to go in. I can't get the knot undone.
Bite it.
I bit it.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
I bit it, and I bit like the tiniest little fucking pinhole in this thing. So if it wasn't already like cold. Now it's coming out in a mist.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's coming out. I sprayed it into the fucking cup, sealed it, gave it to the nurse. She's like, all right, have a good day. And that was that.
No big deal.
Sent it off. No problem.
Yeah. That's the best. Dude, back then, we didn't have Ziplocs. It was just those sandwich bags that fucking, you used to have to like twist tie or tie it. Yeah. But it sounds like he had a gallon.
And he couldn't have got another drop of piss in there. I swear to God. There's a goldfish swimming around.
Dude, I think I've told this, but my buddy growing up,
Fucking aquarium.
I got a
of
buddy,
piss.
my buddy Kaz. He's got a big time job. He's a fucking awesome guy. You can count on him for anything. He's the best guy. I don't think he's ever smoked weed in his life, and he was just loved boozing, but never was a weed guy. So, anyways, he got a job in the summer, and you probably remember when we were kids, you get a job making anything over $10-12 an hour, you got a big fucking summer job, right? So he got a job working at Kraft, I think what make Kraft mac and cheese type place up in Wilmington. Just you do the grounds there, of the 3 buildings, and it paid $18.50 an hour, which was huge. So he says to my buddy, I'm not gonna use his name because he has a job in the public face in the general area. He was like, hey, I got this job, and it's fucking great money, and it's easy, we just mow lawns. So anyways, he goes in, and my buddy goes in, guy's like, all right, he's interviews him, he's like, yeah, I mean, you seem like a perfect fit for this. He's like, this is great. He's like, the only thing we're gonna need you to do is take a urine test tomorrow, and then we can get you started on Monday. And he just looks at the guy and just goes, I smoked weed last night. The guy's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I smoked weed with my friends last night. And he's like, well, I guess you don't take the urine test. I mean, dude, I'm like, you didn't even think, maybe there's a way around this thing? You know what I mean? Maybe there's, a couple, it's fucking, you could send me in there and piss or whatever, you know what I mean? Not that that would help, but you send somebody else in there, it used to be easier to do it, now it's harder, but, I've had guys that had to piss for work, for jobs, I've got them. Because some big companies in construction will make you piss, you know what I mean? And most guys, I always start with that. I'm like, hey, listen, if I'm getting you a job, I'm just letting you know a lot of these places do piss test you. I don't give a fuck what you do, but I'm just letting you know it's going to happen. And most don't, but like you rather have the guy know 3 weeks in advance of maybe him getting a job that like you might have to piss, you know?
Sure, then you can like try the golden seal or something like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, something to clean.
So I had a guy who had like he had this thing down to a science. He was like, the way he would do it. I've had guys who they get you piss into a rubber, and then you tack the rubber to your leg, right? So you can pinprick it right between your legs. So they like, you know what I mean? If they're looking over your shoulder or whatever, it looks like you're actually taking a piss.
Wow.
And then, yeah, you take like fingernail clippers and do it. But I know every way to get by this now for all the fucking degenerates I've gotten jobs for. But this one guy was like, oh yeah, he's like, I know how to do this. He's like, you gotta get a Dunkin' Donuts black coffee. And he's like, and you piss in a rubber. And he's like, and you get your exact time. You tell him you need the exact time. And then he's like, you let that coffee go for 15 minutes. And then you put that rubber in that coffee for no more than 37 seconds. And then you go right in. And that's exactly the right temperature. I'm like, how many drugs do you do?
Yeah,
dude,
that's a lot.
do I want to even get you this job? You know what I mean?
Bro, they sell this thing called the Wizinator.
Oh, I got a
It's
story.
like
I was going to tell
it's
this
like
story.
a
Fake
fake
dick,
hog.
yeah.
And they sell synthetic urine.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to update your synthetic urine because they
Test,
start
yeah.
learning the synthetic, whatever it is. They start testing for the synthetic
shit.
that they use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every like 3 months, you have to just buy new shit. Even if you don't get tested, you got to toss that shit and buy new shit.
Man,
So,
people figure it out, don't they?
it's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild to me.
And to
same
be-
thing. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
So this is all from people that I know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me about
Yeah.
how they can be drugs.
Oh, you don't. You said you're smoking a couple of sticks. You're talking about cigars. You don't. You know.
Oh, cigars.
You don't smoke,
yeah, yeah.
You don't smoke weed.
No weed. No.
I don't.
No weed,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't smoke weed
Yeah.
right now. Right this second.
Right the second.
I had a buddy. We were going for the same job, a couple years different. But he was asking me, he's like, "Is there a drug test?" Because he smokes weed, right?
Yeah.
And I don't. But I said, "Listen, when you go in there, there's mirrors and there's a guy watching you the entire time. Like I had to piss so bad when I did mine. I didn't give a fuck what my dick looked like. I was like, I'm gonna pee and I'm gonna be fine.
So if you didn't have to piss, you were gonna chub it up for the guy.
yeah.
Just to be like, hey pal, look at this.
Instagram. Yeah. So
Tag this in your story.
yeah. So the guy tells me, he's like, you got to fill the paperwork out. I go, buddy, I'll fill the paperwork out later. I got to piss. He's like, I got to watch it. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So legit, he's like, legit looking at your junk, mirrors, so you know, no funny business. Obviously, I pass. A couple years later, this kid goes to the same job. And I tell him, I said, listen, I know you smoke like a fucking chimney. They watch you the whole time. I said, but they sell this Wizinator. And I told him where to buy it. And this kid's half black, half white. He goes, they only got white dicks in here. and I said, listen to me. I go, I don't know what else to do to tell you. He's like, I'm gonna have to fucking color it, right? I'm gonna have to, crayons or whatever. So I'm like, now you're just painting a dildo, right? At the end of the day, now it's sounding like it's like a fantasy to you at this point. Putting veins in it, crazy shit. I'm asking if this Wizinator is fucking.
Make it look good.
I'm asking him if it's circumcised, the whole nine, right? Calls me up, and I'm like, how'd you do? He's like, motherfucker, you set me up. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I've been walking around with a fake dick for 4 hours. He goes, the guy just told me to go to the bathroom and pee in the cup. I would have never told him to do that, right? I go, buddy, I swear to God, that is not. He was like, I'm walking around with a fake fucking dick full of piss. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
I gotta tell you, you. It's funny that you mentioned a white dick and a brown dick or whatever. So, when I was probably like 18, 19, I went to my first bachelor party. I won't mention the kid's name, but we had this bachelor party. It was at the Penny Post in Savin Hill in Dorchester, right?
Okay.
And they brought these hookers in, and these hookers like did like a show. They were I don't want to get too graphic.
Yeah, I get the idea.
So you get the idea, right? So, but then, like one of the kids, one of the guys that was at the thing, started banging this hooker in front of everybody, like on the mattress in front of it. I mean, it was like friggin' like 50 guys standing around. It was fucking hard. It was horrible. But the worst part, and the most horrible part, is this kid had a brown cock. I'm not kidding you.
He was white as fucking rice.
He was white.
He said it was 7 Hill.
Oh, shit. Good call.
He had a big brown hog. It was so disgusting. And I really, I remember seeing him, like, sitting next to my buddy, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, we have to go to church tomorrow. Like, mass. We have to go to mass.
No more benders for us.
Oh my god, dude, that's fucking great.
Speaking of which, real quick though, I'll just tell you another quick one. You know the difference between a priest and a 14-year-old? I should say the difference between a priest and a pimple.
What?
A pimple won't come in your face until you're 14.
I was gonna say, we're talking about parties. You know, I mean, Father Gagan had some of the best parties ever. He used to throw some great parties. A lot of people say bad things about him, but he knew how to throw a party.
Party time.
Yeah. As a guy who rode in the back of his car but never got molested by him, you could attest he had some great parties.
As far as I know. I mean, I can't recall it. I've tried.
He gets a bad rap. We're gonna have fucking Boston Globe spotlight in this garage in a week.
Yep.
That reminds me. Remind me to tell. I was gonna say it on the Patreon last time. I'm not gonna remember everything I was gonna say Patreon, but I had a church molestation story that's very funny. For the
Aren't they all?
save for the Patreon. Yeah, aren't they all? They're some of the best. You know that old fucking chestnut. You know. Yeah, dude. So, dude, I'll tell you though, when you get to the end of those benders, though, it's like all you want is like your fucking bed and you're like your family. Like you're like, it's, you know what I mean? You just like get me to fucking back to basics. You know what I mean? By the way, I read a thing today. I was looking up like historical best parties and benders people threw in history, and one of them was that 2 days before the Constitution and George Washington, like basically ran up a bar tab, and the tavern that's still there, that was well over like 25 grand of today's money. It was like the list of what they bought. Like they had like equivalent today of like $350 of like just smashed glasses. Like they were just going off. They were like at the end of the article they said, and somehow he was good enough condition 2 days later to sign the Constitution. I'm like, 2 days later? What do you think? He's a fucking pussy? He's George Washington. Like, he's a fucking legend. You know what I mean?
Man, have wooden teeth.
By the way, he must have been so disgusting. Like like you look back. Like I went and saw Gladiator 2 with my kids on Saturday, which was decent. Yeah, it's good. My daughter actually thought it was as good as the first one. Now, she's an idiot, but no, but she's like, I don't have the nostalgia you do for the first one. I'm like, fucking Maximus is way cooler than the fucking new guy. That's the bottom line. But like I look at them and I'm like,
who's
do you know
the
how
new
bad
guy?
these? It's I don't know. Some dude is like a
Wait,
everybody
wasn't
thinks
Denzel?
sexy. No, Denzel's like a bisexual slave trader.
Sick.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah. It's good look.
Good job, Hollywood.
Yeah, good job, Hollywood. Yeah.
Be a Disney movie.
No shit.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, you at the end of those things, you're just like, get me the fuck to my
Dude,
house.
you're right, man. The end of a bender, because when you're in the throes of it and you're just like, I don't care. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah.
And whatever. I'm having a good time. You only live once. You talk yourself through all of that. But then when you finally commit to stopping that bender, that's when you start feeling like
Tomorrow.
real bad. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be so
Me
bad.
too. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna
You won't recover
suck.
until Wednesday.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shit 7 times tomorrow.
Yeah, and then you know like, yeah,
Not in your pants though.
No, I'll be on a toilet.
yeah.
But it's gonna be bad.
Dude, there was a time.
My ass is gonna be so raw by the end of tomorrow.
Dude, there was a time when like I was on a weekend bender and like I think it was a holiday week. I think it was this weekend last year. Just doing it, and then it got to tonight. Whether we did the podcast, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm getting cocked because I mean I need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's medicinal at this point. And I
then you
drive
turn-
my daughter in the morning to Malden Catholic. Like driving from here to Malden Catholic is like driving through Fallujah. It's like mind-numbingly fucking intense when you are fucking hungover. and I got all of it. Like my eyes aren't working right. You know what I mean? Like you got everything. The body's not regulating the body temperature correctly. So I drop her off in front of MC, and I pull up. It's like a little industrial area over there, and I yank over and run behind one of the buildings and just fucking puke. I hadn't puked in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm like, this is fucking rock bottom. I need to get help. You know what I mean? And then like the next weekend I had a lot of fun again.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I found
always
a way.
this weekend too. And you wake up Monday morning and you turn.
Well, dude, it's like Wednesday afternoon, right? So it happened for me this week. This week started on Tuesday. Tuesday I was working from home. I was out here working. I walked inside. My daughter's home from college. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I just started Gladiator. I'm like, guest drive search group's closed for the week. I'm like, so I watched Gladiator with her. Had a few drinks that night, and then Wednesday, Danny's like, I'm going to Hooters. I'm like, I will meet you at Hooters. So, like, I was so fucking excited pulling to that parking lot. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you can explain that to somebody who doesn't really love to drink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
no, you
my
get
buddy,
it.
like my buddy Panuzza, who I love and who has helped us out a ton. And I don't think he gets the same thing. And by the way, I'm not saying it's not a problem, but I'm just saying, like, dude, when I get that feeling, it's like they do studies, like people who end up being alcoholics, like most people get tired and sleepy, but there's like a subset of the population that like their heart starts to race, like it like almost does like what cocaine does for certain people. And like for me, I'm just like, let's fucking saddle up to this bar, let's fucking talk shit, and let's fucking enjoy ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And when it's over, I'm gonna fucking hate everything. You know what I mean? But like when I'm in the throes of that, I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever fucking happened. I get it. Like some people get off on like, you know, reading books or like fucking running. You know, I like like
That
I
was the
get,
most genuine laugh.
like I get off on like sitting around bullshitting and doing exactly what we're doing. It's that you'll never
nothing
get me
better.
happier.
There's
Yeah, you'll
nothing
never
better.
find me happier. You know what I mean? Like,
Hanging out drinking beers is like maybe the greatest thing on the
it's 100% the
It's
best
the
thing on the
fucking balls.
dude. It's
I
the
love it.
fucking balls, dude. It's like sitting around with guys you hang out with and being like, and just like getting into it is like. There's no feeling like that. Now, at the end of the bender, like I think I've told this story, but like during COVID, I think Josh was he was not working. He was on a bender that was lasted all of COVID. So like if you remember the times of COVID and people were like getting PPP loans, Josh was just getting 30 packs, like all the time. Like that's all he was doing was on a bender. And I was with him for most of it. And I remember my daughters had their birthday party in here on a Sunday. We had like a little pool out there. We had like a little fucking white trash Shangri-La going. And he left his phone here. And so he stopped by in the morning at like 9. It was Monday. So I was supposed to be working. And he's like, he's like, throw that fucking YouTube on. Let's put some fucking Allman Brothers on. I'm like, all right, yeah. So I put the Allman Brothers on. And he's like, what do you got back there? He's like, got any beers? I'm like, let's do a fucking cranberry vodka. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we're fucking, next thing you know, it's an hour into that, right? And now we're fucked up again. You know what I mean? And I forget it. I could see it like it's yesterday. Like all of a sudden, I like forgot where I was. Like I was like, I'm like, oh, we're just partying, you know? But it's like 10, you know, on a Monday. And all of a sudden, like the back door opens and Maggie walks out. She just looks at, she's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And Josh was like, oh, all right, I got my phone. I guess it's time to go. And I'm like, fuck, like record scratch. So like, fuck. Like when you're in the throat, there's nothing worse than, I will say there's nothing worse than when you get taken out of a bender unexpectedly. Like,
Oh, no, not of your own.
not of
accord.
your own, yeah, volition. It's like something that happens. Either somebody gets arrested, or like, you know what I mean, or something happens that's bad, and then you got to deal with the like real life shit. Like that's the fucking worst. It's the fucking worst. Like I remember when I went to a bachelor party for my brother-in-law, and my daughter was born. My oldest daughter was born 8 weeks early, so she was at Children's Hospital still, or Newton Wellesley rather, in the NICU. And I was like, Maggie's like, are you gonna go to that bachelor party? And I'm like, well, what do you think? And she's like, you can go, whatever. I mean, she was just there. It wasn't like she was like, you know, it was like a big worry that something was gonna go horribly wrong. So I went to that bachelor party. One kid was calling at 2 a.m. A kid was trying to call escorts. We were down the Cape. But he was calling excavating companies. Like I was like, this is the best of all time. It was like Dave's Excavating. He's like, do you got any hookers? And I remember I drove back that next day, and I'm like, said to Maggie, I'm like, I gotta go home for like 2 hours before I can go into the hospital for visiting hours. And she's like, really? And I'm like, if they bring me in there now, they're gonna have to hook me up to a fucking IV. Like I am like Fucking dude, and you know what the worst is when you walk into those situations, the fucking bright lights, and you're like everybody knows I'm a piece of shit.
Oh,
you know
you're
what
exposed.
I mean?
You feel like you're exposed.
Yeah. You're like,
They all know.
Yeah, they all know. I'm a fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like one of the biggest pieces of shit there's ever been.
Dude, I've been in a Mighty Mites locker room the last 3 days, stinking like fucking booze.
It sticks.
next to fucking other parents
Hot
who
dog
are
farts.
straight laced, you know, just fucking stinking like booze.
Well-
Like, all right, put on your skates.
You're the hero there, not them. They suck.
I'm the hero of
They should
my own
fucking,
movie
they should
every
go.
day.
They should go suck each other's dicks. Is what I say.
Yeah, go shit your cheeks.
What a line.
All right, couple quick guys. Ted, go. Get in bed with Ted. Everybody knows Teddy. He was on the show not so long ago.
Yep.
617-996-6827. Big time sponsor of the show. Signs up for a year when he signs up. Yeah, it's like just
a maniac.
he's the
Legend.
best.
Legend.
Yeah. So by the way, you want to do your fucking rates are coming down. You know what I mean? I don't know where your politics are, but you know, hopefully things are gonna get a little better. Hopefully your rates will be a little better, and you can refi, and you can get 617-996-6827. Get your deck done, get your fucking basement done, get your whole house done. You know what I mean? Ted will do it. He'll rearrange your entire living space so it's fucking better.
Sick.
How do you like that? Do we miss any sponsors, by the way? Bella's.
Yeah, Bella's, baby.
ahead.
Bella's 1211 Osgood Street, North Andover. BellasNA.com, as we know, doesn't stand for Narcotics Anonymous. It stands for North Andover. Best in the game, Harry, Sandra. I am well overdue, but I believe they're on vacation this week.
Till the 5th.
Till the 5th.
the 5th.
So
Yeah.
don't go there now. But it's the best beef around.
Yeah, so I will not be there before I go away, but when I come back, that might be right off the plane, head north.
Yep.
Go in there, check them out. Like I said, soup to nuts over there.
Was that the one, Fitzy? You had the sandwich at? What was that? What were you?
Recently,
You had that sandwich?
Oh, that's Pete's.
that was Pete's the like last week, right?
Oh, sorry. Is that not?
Yeah.
Is that not?
Yes.
Sponsor?
No, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
pizza good people too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other beef shops around, and there's good ones, you know.
Yeah.
Bella's is top notch.
Which
Yeah.
one's better?
Bella's.
Fellas, yeah. By the way, Fitzy goes into these places, they just feed him for free.
Jeff.
I heard Joey Boats on here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a riot.
Rapping.
Oh, yeah.
Kid's a beast.
Like he can really rap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, he's like really real good at it.
Like I heard another podcast that I'm not gonna mention the other day that they had a rapper on. The guy did a rap, and I'm like, that guy sucks compared to Joey Boats. Like, dude, he's like I showed my kids, and they're like, that kid's not famous. Like what the fuck?
really-
He
Like,
should be famous.
Yeah,
You have all this dog shit out there,
Yeah.
and then this kid is
Dressed
really
as a
can
Paddington
do
bear.
it.
yeah,
Like
This poor
the
kid's
way
on
he
pulling the
puts
cord.
those,
yeah. It's stuck here. These losers.
way he puts those I mean, it's amazing how
Unbelievable,
many
yeah.
fucking words he can slap
It's
together. like
insane. Yeah. He's one of the fucking. He's
that. I have a rap if you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
it.
I can't wait.
yep.
Can I don't know. Can you do it? Can you do a beat or am I just gonna freestyle? That's right. That's fine. I can just freestyle.
Yeah,
You want to
freestyle.
hear it?
Yeah.
This is from like 1989.
Love it. I was 2.
Yeah, y'all. It's Thanksgiving Day, which is apropos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all. It's Thanksgiving Day. So everybody packing heat, just put it away. You know my name, and I'm here to play. So just listen to what I got to say. When I rhyme, it's like smoking a J. You feel so high. You want to know why? It's because this beat is fly. T-R-O-Y is who? This jam is by. You want to try? Nope. You ain't dope. You can't cope. Somebody ought to hand you a bar of soap because you stink in the place. Get out of my face. I hate your race. Just call me Ace. Yo, homie, go drink your Goya before I destroy ya. You need a lawyer, can you feel the pain? This rap is insane. And nah, I ain't Big Daddy Kane. You know when I'm screaming, you little kook? I wanna puke. Your last rhyme was just a fluke. Now you're selling crack, your gang is all whack. Boy, you need a smack. You're just new jack. And little do you know your girl is on my sack. Get off the stage, sucker, you dumb motherfucker. You smell like cucker, both you and your little dinky, about the size of my pinky. Serious, homie, check your pants for a stinky.
Dude, how are you not famous?
Dude, my fucking cheeks hurt. The muscles of my fucking jaw hurt right now.
You can tell it's from 1989.
No
like,
shit.
Yeah.
If I close my eyes, it was easy eat.
Yeah, that was gold.
There was an unbelievable little slick Ricgism in there too with the fly.
The fly.
You want to get high?
Wow.
Oh my god, that was unexpected and unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's listen to. We got one voicemail, but one piece of audio I gotta play.
Okay.
And then we'll do Patreon.
Yep.
Cool. And then Jeff's got another story, which we're not pressed for time. So.
Or another rap.
All right, so let me know if you guys can hear.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Fitz, you cannot hear.
No.
Does it to you every week, bud.
No, I can't hear either.
Every week.
Can you hear?
No. No.
Can you hear?
No. Yeah. Yep.
You can hear now. Didn't know.
Little bit.
We might need this thing replaced. You can hear it.
No. Just go ahead, play.
I'll just tell you what he's saying.
No.
Turn Danny's up. I'll
You
hear it
want
through
these?
his.
Fitzy? You want these ones?
Right there. No. Just play
This is
it.
great radio.
Just play it.
Sick.
I can hear it.
Mine's
through,
also in and out.
I can hear it through his if you turn his up.
Fuck this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's bad.
Yeah, but it's not the headphones. I think it's the fucking jack in the back.
It's the female. It's always the female.
True. All right, I'll play it and we can hear it through Danny. So I'll crank. Danny, is that going up?
Jesus,
You know,
sure can.
You know, you can tell if your wife's faking an orgasm. Oh. Who cares?
All right, so this was audio taken from another podcast. This is from Al's podcast, Bad Brain, which he told Danny this came from another place first.
Yo,
Wait, this is Jump Town, sorry. This is voicemail.
it's your man Adam Jump Town, guys. We're talking holidays, and we got the Clough. Jeff Clough returns? Come on now. I tell you what, you guys are the rising stars this year. Pulling the Cork podcast. Hats off to all you boys. We're up here, living in New Hampshire, living free or dying now in Seabrook. It don't matter where I go. I'll be tuning in and I'll be listening. Because why? We don't know, but we do. It's your man Adam Jump Town. Keeping the quality.
Listen, hey, a day one. A day one.
Yeah.
He is.
All right, now this is from...
Who's that guy?
How do we
That's
turn
it.
this fucking phone off now?
It's still on.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know how to turn his phone off.
He has no clue.
All right, ready?
Than a thief in the night. That's how dark he looked.
How is your acid reflux right now?
Well, I think it's a mix of my acid reflux and not sleeping very well. Is that what you're asking about my voice?
Yes.
I sound like Danny Gillis.
Yeah.
And there's not many people who know who Danny Gillis is because he's a life loser. He's a fucking plumber. No, I'm kidding about that.
You sound
We
like
love our union guys.
You sound like
Love Danny
RFK
Gillis.
right now.
I feel a little RFK-ish right now.
You sound just like RFK, dude.
He does.
Yeah.
That was a little shot across the bow from Al. Dude, I had already seen that, so I knew what it was when he sent it.
Oh, you did?
So he just sent these guys the like the transcript of the words. It was like this came from his other podcast that we know of.
How good was it that I called him out and like read right through it? Because
Yeah.
I didn't watch the show.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen that episode
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
And I was like, Al, don't fucking gas me because you were ready to text.
I was going to kill
Yeah,
somebody.
don't text anyone. I could tell you were ready to text someone. And I was like, Al, don't fuck with us.
And by the way,
because Danny's gonna fucking ruin relationships right now.
big time.
And it
And
turns out,
I saw through it.
and the best was it turns out it was Al did it. I had
was Al
already
who
seen
did
it,
it,
and
yeah.
I was laughing my fucking ass
I
off.
had no clue, but I know Al, and I know how Danny can get gassed up. And I was like,
I
Danny,
saw red,
don't
Fitz.
fucking text
Oh,
anyone.
by the way, this is a classic Al move. We go to the fucking we go to the golf thing, right? And I'm like kind of fucking stroking it a little bit. And he's like, I can already tell you're not this good in real life. You're a simulator player. I'm good. I'll get one from there. He's like, you're a simulator guy. And I'm like, it would make you so happy if I sucked in real life, wouldn't it? It would make you fucking so happy. He's like, yeah. All right, so we got next week, we'll have Al on. Jeff, you got any more stories we want to save for the Patreon? We can tell the fucking Rated X.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell a couple of jokes on the Patreon for
There
you
we go.
guys. You know.
Yeah.
I have to say though, I haven't seen you guys since the golf tournament.
Yeah.
And it was it was what a great time.
Blast.
Oh, it was
It's
awesome.
a nice time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
blast. Yep.
we're gonna
was
do it
awesome.
again next year.
Fucking right.
It's gonna
That
be.
was fun. That was
I'd like to say
fun.
it's gonna be bigger, but we had a full deck, so it can't be bigger.
You probably couldn't fit another foursome in
No,
there.
we were full.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We were
Can't get
full.
bigger.
Yeah.
Are you around the 21st for the ugly sweater party?
When's that? Is that
December.
December
21st.
21st.
Bring your wife. Maggie's gonna be there. Hopefully, Josh, maybe Court.
I'll go.
Yeah, it's guys and girls.
Yeah, I'll show. I'll show
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time, dude. I'm fucking pumped for that. By the way,
Where is
Me
it?
too.
you know what's good about it? It's at the IA.
Irish
Like,
American.
so
Oh, there
we,
you
we
go.
did
Fuck
the.
yeah, there you go.
So we did the. Historically, have done the Halloween party, which next year that will come back. So the Halloween party will be bigger and better than ever. That said, because we didn't do that, we were like, let's at least do something, right? So let's do the. Danny always had an ugly sweat party, so let's do that. It's just at the members bar, and the best part is it's like no big deal. Like you don't have to fucking buy tickets. You don't have to do anything. You just show up. Maybe we'll get pizzas or something like that.
just a party.
It's just gonna be a party. We'll fucking put tunes
It's a-
on.
It's the start of a bender.
We're gonna
Fucking
get
great.
blacked out. We get blacked the fuck out, right? That's
great.
That's happening. We're gonna get blacked the fuck out. And that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? By the way, they have. I think the last time with the IA that was. Oh, maybe it was the Irish halfway to St. Patty's.
Yeah.
I was with the Irish guys in the corner, Keith and all them.
They're blowing you for your shirt.
Oh yeah, they love that shirt. It's fucking money.
That's sick.
My buddy from Ireland got me this Irish hurling shirt that has Shane. McGowan, sorry, on it with all his lyrics on it. And it's like, they were like, oh, fucking lads, look at this fucking shit. But we were drinking White Russians all night. And like, they make great White Russians there, first of all.
Yeah.
But second of all, I mean, they're gas, you know what I mean? And like, I remember I woke up the next morning, like, why is my stomach all fucked up? You know what I mean? And I realized I had shit my cheeks, you know? It already happened, you know? Because I had too much dairy in my system, you know?
It happens.
All right, cool. So, Danny, anything else? Where can people get tickets if they can still buy them? I don't know. When's it run through?
You know what? I'll send it to you and then we can put it on the
Yeah,
page.
I'll put it on the page. But I've already put some stuff up, so.
Yeah. If you want to message me, I can tell you. Like I said, if you're a small business, you want to donate something, it's a tax write-off.
Yep.
I got all the information for you. Anyone that's already donated, you're the best. I can't thank you guys enough. Because I'll be honest with you, we had a bunch of hardships. Like kids I got a kid in my
Yeah, they can't afford to go, baby.
can't afford to go, but
Yeah.
the kid that's in my room is the great. I want to adopt him.
Yeah.
We've talked about it.
Yeah,
My man
yeah, yeah.
Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake.
He's the fucking best.
What a name.
He's just he's in my room and he saw me yesterday and he was like, Coach Gilly, me and you are gonna be roomies. I go, keep it in your pants, pal. You know, the kid's the fucking best. I love him so much. But I got him for the weekend. You know, it's because dude, it's expensive. To let you guys know, it's like $2,500 a kid.
Yeah, I think the minimum.
No shit.
That's
huh?
just room and board and getting down there. Like I said, they got you by the balls. You can't even fucking even if you leave.
What do you do for
lose.
food? Like, you just give them a little allowance?
So
Reminds
Listen,
me, after you finish telling this, I'm going to give you like food allowance.
the mom's
which
got
is
it
great.
figured out. The mom's got it figured out.
Yeah.
So the mom's leaving the kids with a chaperone that's staying in the hotel because
Yeah.
it's stay to play, and all the moms are just having an Airbnb and fucking leaving them. So what we're gonna do is every time we're gonna eat,
Bang all the moms.
we're gonna go
When you
over.
say moms, do you mean like palms, like palm tree moms, or moms?
I mean, like Boston trash moms. They smoke in the living room, like Shane Gillis says. Yeah, but no, they're the best fucking people on earth. They got their own Airbnb, so it's like minutes away. With
So they're going to be on a bender.
100,000%. And you know, we don't have to say her name.
1,000%.
We know who like started this thing for the moms.
Obviously, Julie.
Yeah, Julie. I mean,
Yeah.
real fucking nice, pal. Living up
Yeah.
in luxury.
Yeah.
You know.
You're going to be fucking playing video games with Earthquake at fucking 2 in the morning.
He's already asked me if I snore. I'm like, mind your business, pal.
Yeah, don't worry about
13-year-old kid's like, Coach,
snore?
you snore? It's all the time.
Dude, they used to have. It just reminded me of like my buddy was a really good lacrosse player. Played at St. Mike's, and he's like he's built like Danny, and he's just not
Adonis.
a big. He's not a big eater. Like he never was. Like he's like the type of kid you go out and get a sub. Like he'd have like half and a quarter of the sub and wrap it up. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't have a big appetite. And so the kid who was the senior, like was the size of Jeff, right? This kid Jim McMurray, awesome guy. McMurray like picked him out of a lineup. Was like, I want that kid as my partner for fucking food when they would drive back from tournaments and games.
So he could eat his
Because
leftovers.
you have to switch. You have a allotment for 2 guys.
Yeah.
So they gave back then. I mean, we're talking 96, 97. Like you could do some damage for $20 at fucking McDonald's. You can't do it anymore. So he grabbed him because he's like, he eats the least. So this kid McMurray's order every time they went to fucking McDonald's was 6 cheeseburgers, a lot of strawberry shake. He'd rip the cheeseburgers in half and dip them in the strawberry shake, and that's how he ate them. I'm like, what a fucking animal, dude.
Yeah.
And like my buddy John would get like a small fry and like a cheeseburger. That
Dude,
was
it's
it.
classic sweet and savory. I'm with this guy.
Really?
Yes.
You would dip a fucking cheeseburger in a
dude.
strawberry
Sweet
shake?
and Sweet and savory, dude.
I've done
need
worse.
That mix.
This is the Bender talking.
I've done
It
worse.
is the Bender. It's like right now, I'm leaving here and my Uber driver is taking me to McDonald's for fucking 6 cheeseburgers. and a
Fucking A,
strawberry
let's
shake.
go. Game
And
on.
then McDonald's is going to be like, sorry, the shake fucking machine's broken.
You know that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never
And
forget.
I'll be
One
like,
of-
all right, give me honey
I'll
sauce.
never forget. Like, and I think Jeff and Joe's back there, but they would know, like, because we're so old that you didn't know that like different places in the world made subs different and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just grew up here. It was like, oh, you get an Italian. This is what's on Italian, right?
And we're lucky for that.
Well, you were lucky till you find out the highway. So I was out at UMass actually on a bender, like a bad one. Like we almost got killed the night before at Westfield State on Friday night. Like my buddy grabbed the Celtics tap just like I have on that kegerator, and fucking 19 Spanish kids almost fucking murdered us in the streets. I didn't know the Spanish were such big fans of the Celtics, but they were. And they were not fans of us. And, like, we were in the snow. And then, like, I lost my shoes. I had to borrow shoes. And then we went to UMass, right? So I'm in a shoe bigger, right? I'm in a shoe size bigger than I got, right? This leads into, like, the whole, like...
You were wearing Puerto Rican fence climbers?
Yeah, yeah, I borrowed his. This is a good way to end this episode. This is a true bender. So we get to UMass in the morning. You're sleeping on people's floors and shit, like at Westfield State. Sleeping on somebody's floor. Westfield State's like, might as well be sleeping in fucking Walpole prison. Like, it's fucking, that is a prison.
I've been there.
Yeah, so we get up in the morning. We drive. My buddy had a Volkswagen Rabbit, right? He had a little Rabbit. There's 4 of us in it. So we drive down to UMass. And now we're there, and like we got to do it all over again, right? On like no sleep, I got like a fucking Bond jacket. My hair's like greasy because I haven't fucking showered because there's no place to shower. So we party at UMass that night. We get fucked up out of our minds. So like 2 a.m. Wake up in the morning, and we're like, now it's like fucking sun's coming in your eyes because there's no shades because the shades are broken in the place you're in, and it's like we got to get up and drive back to St. Mike's, which is like a 3-hour drive, I think, from UMass, something like that. So we get up. And we're just like, let's get the fuck out of here. So immediately we go to like a gas station or like a sub shop, and I got an Italian. And I fucking take 1 bite of it, close your ears. And fucking mayo squirts out a lot of it, right?
Fucking
so I
gross.
immediately fucking
Sacrilegious
so I immediately just
motherfuckers.
throw it in the fucking trash, right? And I'm just so fucking mad, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ, you know? And I'm like still in my fucking shitty Bond jacket, like my underwear probably smells. You know, it's like one of those fucking situations that
Probably.
shit in my cheeks.
Definitely
you know?
does.
Yeah, it definitely does. I got these fucking 2 big things on in the back seat, my buddy, right? And I go like this. I looked at him and I go, like me sitting next to Danny, I go, I can't, I just wish I could fast forward this ride and this would be over. And like right when that happened, all of a sudden my face smashed off the front seat because he got into a head-on collision, right? He got into a head-on collision, right? And I was like, boom! And I was like, ugh! And by the way, my buddy goes, after we got out of the fucking car and we were fine, my buddy goes, dude, if I could fucking own videotape of you fucking smashing your face off that fucking thing, I would, right? So now his car's totaled. It's Sunday. It's fucking... We're kind of near Williams College. That's how far we made it. It's Sunday. It's fucking like 1. It's fucking also winter, so it's like gonna get dark in about 24 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, we got no money. We just spent it all at UMass, right? So the kid who's driving's like, we there was a hotel next to the place, so he's like, I don't know, like, by the way, this is before, like, really debit cards and shit. Like, we're talking, like, fucking pilgrim shit, you know? Like, survival of the fittest. So this car's totaled. So he's called, plays, tow his car. And then he was actually a pretty responsible kid. We were shitbags, right? So we're like, fuck, what do we do? So the girl at the counter's like, hey, she's like, I'll fucking, she felt bad for us. So she was, like, probably 22 or 23, just out of college. She's like, if you wait 15 minutes, I'm getting off. I could drive you to a bus stop that will take you to Burlington. So I'm like, all right. So I had to borrow money to get on this bus, right? Now we're on a fucking bus to Burlington, right? Me and my buddy that I'm with, we have a fucking presentation about the internet the next day. We were thinking we were gonna be home by like 4, but we meet the kid that's doing the presentation with us and fucking work it all out. So we're like, now we're on this bus, dude, and that bus stops fucking like every town, right? So we're on this bus. Bus doesn't roll into Burlington till fucking 1 a.m. Then we gotta get a cab back to St. Mike's because that's like a town over. Finally get in at like 2:30. Wake up. This kid's shaking us. Me and my roommate. Guys, I just got out of the fucking class. You gotta come. We fucking presentation starting now. I'm still in the bond jacket, right? Still in the 2 big shoes. Haven't showered. Underwear still smells. So we fucking run down there, right? And it was about the internet. Yeah. And I remember we hadn't done anything and our minds were not working. You know what I mean? And I remember me and my buddy, it was me and O'Malley, and we were like sitting there. And the kid Scott, who was really running point on this operation, I was like, I go, I had, by the way, also had a huge bruise on my forehead from like smashing the front of that from the front of that headrest, right? And I'm like, he goes, our presentation's about the internet. No, O'Malley just looks at him and goes, Scott. He goes, what do you know about the internet? And we just watched this kid do the entire presentation and then just went back to bed. I was like, that's a fucking bender for you right there. All right, Jeff, you welcome here anytime. We'll probably get some behind the scenes.
Hey,
by the way,
really happy to be here.
People ask, Patreon, there's an extra episode every week. I don't think somebody mentioned that the other day. We won't mention it, but there's an extra episode every week. And then also, if you're a Patreon member and you want a koozie, you guys, before you leave, I'll give you one. We got a bunch made for the Patreon party so that we could send them to people who couldn't make the Patreon party. So if you're like John Bauman, you're out in Michigan, you know what I mean? Bowman. That's a bit, by the way, that we're doing now at this point. Listen, I'm a fan of the baseball cards.
The baseball cards are Bowman.
Whatever. All right, listen. Don't give me a hard time. I just got off a bender.
Hey, real quick because my cousin Matt, I'm gonna give him a quick shout out. He's like, he said, "What are you gonna talk about? What are you gonna talk about on pulling the cork?" And I was like, I don't know. Like they get a bunch of shit they want to, they'll talk about. He's like, he goes, tell him that story about when you found me on Marathon Monday. So I'm coming out of my office. And I'm like in a fucking
from
suit.
Work?
Yeah, from work. I'm like in a suit and tie with probably my boss or somebody. And the guy's like, look at this fucking idiot. And in front of the building, some kid is like stumbling along, like all fucked up. And I'm like, give me a second. It's my fucking cousin Matt. He's all fucked up. On Marathon Monday, I had to fucking drag him home. Like, he run the red line. Literally, like, on the red line, he's like fucking harassing people. Like, black people, he's harassing them. I'm like, no. So, anyway, I told him I'd tell that story.
That Clough's a great kid.
Yeah, next time you talk, tell Matt we need a fucking voicemail from him.
Yeah,
soon.
he left one of the best voicemails ever.
He's left one of the best voicemails ever.
No shit,
Yeah, and he's been fucking MIA.
He was
since.
1 for 1. He just like went out like on top. You know what I mean? Like he just went out. Just mic drop.
He hit all cylinders.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
By the way, also just so people know, we're gonna do. Last year we did it. We're gonna do the best of. Yeah. So Evan, our producer, now official producer, Fonz has been fired officially.
Fonz, can I tell a quick Fonz story?
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
Yesterday,
I got 100. I can't
well,
tell.
I know, but this is so Fonz it hurts.
Yeah.
Fonz comes yesterday to our fundraiser, right? And we were selling cannolis for $5 a piece. He goes,
Feel like you're gonna buy a.
He goes, how many does $100 get me? He bought $100 worth of cannolis yesterday. And he's just walking out of
He's
here.
gonna be so mad that kid came out of the podcast
I know.
because Panuzzo's gonna be like, "You buying cannolis?"
The best is he bought 100 cannolis. How many did he eat?
No.
$100. $100 worth of cannolis.
Dude,
It's the same amount.
it's the same picture. Yeah. What's your feeling on cannolis? You a big cannoli guy?
I love cannolis.
I love
yeah,
it too.
Big
I love
fan.
it.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
they're good. The Italians know what they're doing.
And I'll tell you, not that I know like the inside scoop on what the filling is. I mean, we know it's regatta, right?
Regatta, yeah.
But they make their own. Like they whip some other shit in there. They put like, it's fucking delicious. I'm not just blowing smoke.
Yeah.
Like if you guys ever go to the North End Feast, they're there. Get a cannoli from them.
It's crazy because
dynamite.
it's so close to mayonnaise.
Dude, I told you this before though. I'm not. Most people that don't like mayonnaise don't like white
White
condiments.
condiments, yeah.
I will eat them all.
Yeah. You like ranch and blue cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Yogurt?
Yeah.
Yogurt, all of it. Yeah, sour
Semen.
cream,
Cum.
semen. Yeah,
Cum.
I'm in.
Yeah, big cum guy.
Come out of a fucking Ziploc bag's my favorite.
Bite the corner.
Yeah.
It's like decorating a cake.
Mist.
Oh.
It turns into mist.
Jesus Christ.
Last thing I had to say, which was pretty funny, when we went to that Flow Golf place, before Mark Lewis is cool and his dad got there, it was just me and Al. And the guy walked over and he's like, this place is it's right up the street. Joe, have you been there?
Joe's asleep.
Yeah, you been there?
Joe's asleep.
Anyways.
He fell asleep.
He's like, I wasn't listening. Anyways, plays in Saugus, right? Flow Golf, right? Plays in Saugus, right? And it's like, dude, the ground, the balls pop up out of the ground. So, like, instead of like a regular place where you pull the ball back and set it on the mat, the shit pops up out of the ground. They have different cuts for rough, everything, dude. It's unbelievable. The thing you're standing on tilts if you're on a side hill.
No.
Dude, it's unbelievable. And they got a full bar. And it's right
Pricey?
behind Dave's. Wasn't that bad? I paid full freight, but I just think you get about half off. For an hour and a half, it was $90.
Was that like Fuddruckers? Is that what-
Yeah, right behind there.
Yes.
Yeah, now he's awake. Anyways, the guy comes over, the kid who owns it, and he's telling Al, he's like, do you know how to run this thing? And Al's like, no. And I'm like, and he starts telling him everything, and I'm like, I'm watching Al. I'm like, he's retaining nothing. Neither am I, by the way. I'm the worst at that. If you're telling me like how to operate something, I shut down.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, so I was like, I don't think he's getting any of this. I could just tell his face was just like, it was like, And then he looks at me after the guy walks away. He's like, I got nothing. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, we had no idea how to work the thing. Like, we had to fucking figure it out for ourselves. Anyways, we'll be on the Patreon after this. And 21st, you should be there if you listen to this. By the way, I always say this, but I feel like it has to be said. If you listen to the show, but you're not like kind of like one of the people who's been to all the events and everything and kind of knows people in common, just come to the fucking thing and just introduce yourself and hang out. It's going to be a great night. Everybody who goes to these things is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a lot of fun together.
Yep.
So if you're like on the fence about it, just fucking come and like, let's hang out and fucking party. If you like the show, you probably love gas and beers. You probably love being on benders, and you should come and do it and get yourself a nice little ugly sweater. By the way, the ugly sweater that Maggie ordered me, which was, I can just say it now, it's not coming, was a custom pulling the cork one.
Oh,
and
no
she
way.
goes, I go, where is it? Because it was supposed to be here like 3 days ago. She goes, oh, let me check. She goes, it's in Guangzhou, China.
Yeah, it was
I'm
a
like,
scam.
No, it wasn't
No,
a
it's
scam,
just-
but like,
it's not, you can't like overnight that shit.
yeah, but I'm like, just
Custom.
cancel it.
Make it.
I'm like, just cancel it.
Sick.
So now I got to find a new ugly sweater. Anyway, so whatever. All right. By the way, I don't do prop comedy, but like, you know, that's a classic prop comic move is like get your buddy's face on the sweater and be like, get it's an ugly sweater. It's like get a mind in your head. You know what I mean? Get a brain.
Avery Tango found every one of my Facebook photos and plastered them all over. I thought that
prop
was funny.
comic.
But then, right?
Carrot top shit.
Kid walks in
I like
5 minutes
Avery,
later, stole the show. He just had a mirror.
That's good.
That was good.
That's good. I'll take that. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.